Joy, joy, God's great joy, joy.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the Senate and House, freedom, liberty, justice, and equity were all being doused by a strange notion that unity in our nation and working across the aisle is now viewed as weakness, to be understood as venomous and vile. This new idea was being hung on the hammers of hatred that was centuries old, in hopes that dereliction of duty will bring to life a time when humans were sold. Tribalism, colonialism, and nationalism that nearly destroyed our world is now rising and coming to life, confusing every man, woman, boy, and girl. All of this being done in hopes that white people will maintain authority and control. Millions have become corrupted and have sold their very souls, with visions of bygone days when masters and overseers with slithering whips were 1,000 times more lethal and dangerous than any Bloods or Crips. Mother Emanuel, Charlottesville, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Sandra Bland are glaring examples of heinous evil and wickedness all over this land. As if that were not enough, the year began with a full insurrection on January the 6th. Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, Three Percenters, and white supremacists were all in the mix. They came from California, Minnesota, Texas, Illinois, and the state of Michigan, from Kentucky, Florida, Georgia, California, and even as far as Oregon. They came to our nation's capital chanting for death to Pelosi and even Mike Pence, and the response from Trump and his administration made absolutely no sense. Trump's people gathered in groups while glaring at their television to see what was the matter, and joyfully danced, high-fived, and smiled as they saw democracy being splattered. And what to my amazement, as I saw the Trump flags waving and Congress walls being scaled, I learned there were texts and emails being sent to Trump saying the country was going to hell. These messages were ignored, none returned, and all cast to the ground in utter contempt. While now folks are swearing on a stack of Bibles, their mothers' graves, they were never even sent. Make no mistake about it, this was an effort to overthrow the United States and place Trump on a throne. And it did not matter if people were killed, hurt, maimed, wounded, crushed, or even stoned. How awful it was, and the days that followed were just as awful or even worse. As treasonous rioters boarded flights to go home, it made one want to curse. Those flights were like sleighs filled to the brim with men and women escaping from a crime. What a relief it was for iPhones and information technology to have captured their DC time. Now the year is coming to close as we celebrate the birth of the Christ child in Palestine, and it's good to know the freedom our parents fought for is still yours and mine. It must be admitted that the freedom is very much in a fragile kind of state, but it is our faith in God and trust in each other that will decide our fate. So as you celebrate Christmas December 25th in 2021, remember our work is continuing and is not nearly done. But remember, no cruel, unjust, nationalist, or racist, whether pauper, president, or beast, can compete with whom we celebrate, the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and Prince of Peace. For I heard the Lord exclaim as he left the disciples and disappeared out of sight, "Lo, I am with you always, morning, noon, and the darkest of night." Merry Christmas, Second Baptist and friends.
Now behold the Lamb, the precious Lamb into sin, that I may live again. He's that precious Lamb of God. When I always didn't do right, I went left, you told me to go right, but I'm standing right here in the midst of the tears, and I claim you to be the Lamb of God.
Thank you for the Lamb.
Thank you for the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God. Because of your grace, I can finish this race. The precious Lamb of God. Even when I brought